Okay, guys, do you guys remember the Aurora shooting at the theater? It was James Holmes. I had to pull up the story because it's been a while since I kept up with it, and I've been keeping up with the Kelsey Barrow story. But, anyways, um, it was a young kid, had everything going for him. This guy was going into neuroscience, very intelligent, supposedly. But suddenly he took a turn for the worse. He went from wanting to be a successful doctor that wanted to help people to a person that actually took lives of innocent children, families. It didn't matter if men, women, there was no, it was complete and utterly devastating how he just went in there and shot families up going to a premiere movie. And then Batman at that. He ended up going in through, I think actually they found out that he come in with a ticket, then went out the back of the exit at the theater, then got his gun, got some kind of gas bomb, which I'll put on here later. He tossed that into the theater, and he come in with gas mask, decked out in all kinds of armor and protection. He had, protection for his throat, his down there, everything. And so they say that he had planned on, going in there, killing as many people as he could, then taking his own life. But, with armor like that, I don't think so. So anyway, it turns out that he killed 12, injured 70 people. And they ask him later on, they say, how do you feel about, the 70 people that survived? He says, well, that's just collateral damage, basically. Yeah, I'm not counting it. I only count the people that I actually killed. And they actually ask him another question. They say, what was that question? I might have to run that for you later. I have a horrible memory. I usually have to keep notes on hand. I can read it 100 times. But he just absolutely had no remorse, it seemed. But, I remember the question now. They asked him, why did he do it? He said, and, why did he choose to do it that way? And I'll show this to you later. He says, well, to be a serial killer, basically he said, I don't think I could do that. But I think that was because you would have a connection with that person in some way. You would be, more personal with it, and then for he couldn't carry it out. Whereas he went into a dark room, he couldn't see faces, he didn't, connect with anybody, so it was easier for him to take their lives. And what it seemed like he did this for was he did it for attention. I think I know why. I think the reason why he did this was because he was failing at school, and he always wanted to be in a spotlight. And he knew that he was going to fail out, and he was depressed about it, and he decided, well, if I can't be in a spotlight as being successful, then I'm going to do it being a bad guy. And he did that. And he will be forever known as the red-headed joker that went in there and shot so many people. Anyways, I'm going to roll this tape for you. Let's get a reminder who he is and what he did.
The Batman movie turned into a nightmare. Police are on the scene. Right now we know, as we said, before we were reporting 14 dead, we now believe there are only 12 dead, but I want to look at those hazmat teams going into the movie theater right now. Of course, there's blood on the scene, but also reports of smoke bombs, Amy, going off, so they can go in there and try and figure out exactly what that substance was.
That's right, and here's what we know right now. As you mentioned, the revised number, 12 dead, 50 injured. The youngest victim, just 3 months old. The suspect is in custody right now. We know he's a young man, 24 years old. Eyewitnesses describe him as armed for battle, a rifle, a handgun, a shotgun, and as George mentioned, smoke bombs. We're learning a lot more about the victims in the shooting as well, and we're about to hear from several eyewitnesses.
And their stories are just chilling. Our reporter is live on the scene right now. ABC's Clayton Sandell at the mall in Aurora, Colorado, where this horrifying scene unfolded just hours ago. Clayton?
Good morning, George. You're right. It is just a horrific scene here in Aurora, Colorado. This is a movie theater that is attached to basically a suburban mall here in Aurora. The theaters were packed for midnight showings of The Dark Knight, and when just after midnight, the movie had just gotten underway, and what we heard from witnesses were that there were parts of the movie where there was shooting, there was explosions, and all of a sudden, the shooting started for real. At the suspect's apartment building, police have it surrounded. The building already evacuated. Fears that his apartment may be booby-trapped. The scene was chaotic overnight, moviegoers fleeing for their lives.
You could smell smoke, and then you just kept hearing it. Bam, 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 non-stop. The gunman never had to reload. The shots just kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going.
Eyewitnesses spoke of a man dressed in a mask and bulletproof, kicking open emergency doors to Theater 9 and opening fire with a shotgun.
My friend sitting next to me turned towards me, and she got part of a bullet hit her in the mouth.
Witnesses say the suspect may have used tear gas at a moment in the movie when the same thing was happening on screen. Rounds penetrated into Theater 8 next door. More than 250 police have responded to the scene, along with 100 FBI agents.
Back is full of blood. I don't know if that matters or not. Full of what?
Blood. Excessively. Back seats are full of biohazard material.
Police say they've arrested the suspect described as an adult man.
Here I'm going to have to go to part 2 because making these on a phone, you don't have enough memory space for the videos I like to make. So look for part 2 soon. Thanks for watching, guys.